Ain't been having no dream, don't be getting no sleep. How could someone call me those things? They don't even know me. I lost everything I love a week ago.
Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Astøn, and I'll be your host of today's episode, Lost Culture's Power Season 4, Episode 5, Don't Thank Me Recap. So on this episode, a lot happened. A lot of things being confirmed. Bro, so much happened. Oh my god, let's just jump right into it. So obviously we got a couple things going on with Ghost. We got Ghost and Silver. Silver is really egging him on, not really egging on, but trying to figure out hey, is you dirty? You need to let me know. I am your lawyer. You need to let me know. But James just don't trust him. There's no trust. He has no trust for Silver, so he doesn't really tell him the truth or anything, even when certain issues come up. And we see when he's getting ready to take the stand, whatever. We see Tasha thinks she's taking the stand, and she's getting ready to break. Then he flipped the script on her hey, everything covered. We got James taking it, and there's just I love to see this when James take the stand. We see he actually does a little burst of anger, and he yells out Greg instead of Knox, Greg instead of calling him Agent Knox. He's like, oh, I didn't kill Greg. And that's what Sandoval hit him with the how did you how personal was your relationship that you knew to call him Greg and not Knox? And that's true too. Obviously they have some type of history or they have some type of past where Ghost just feel comfortable calling him Greg if he just blatantly blurted that out in the middle of court. And we see Ghost getting angrier and angrier every time he calls him a killer, even though he is a killer. But this particular crime, he's not not guilty of it. So every time he keeps oh, you did this. This is how you did it. And it's funny because I thought Ghost was catching on to the fact that Sandoval was explaining how he committed the murder, but it really wasn't. We were getting those views, and we saw slowing down a little bit. I think it was more a representation of his anger, when he sees him boom, all the little hits they were doing, little drum beats they were doing anytime he said something. It was more of Ghost getting angrier and angrier, and I love that effect. But I took it more as at first I took it as Ghost was starting to break down, understand what was going on, but really once he did the outburst, I realized he was just getting upset, which wasn't good for him. We see he took that L in court, and no, it wasn't good. Silver's damn, we might lose this case, and I'm gonna need you to get your money up. I'm gonna need you to throw a couple ends at me, and we'll try to get everything figured out. Luckily, Angela came through to hold him down. Did I call it last week? I told you. I definitely said that Angela was gonna flip the script and end up going back to Ghost side. She gonna have to rock with Ghost to figure out who's the real killer of Greg. But at this we see he gave her a little information look, somebody in your little group who did this murder because they put this phone here. When you was there, he lets her know I was there when you was there and everything. All of that, all that was that. But going on from there, we see, what else did James do this episode? Boy, James back in his murder gang. We see he get out of court and this boy is back on his murder-ish. This boy Williams picked the wrong day to mess with Ghost. I called that too. I called it. I feel bad that it actually it took me out of the episode for a second when Ghost killed Williams, whatever his name is, because that's off the fact that Charlie Murphy is dead in real life. So that really hit me a little bit. I was a big Charlie Murphy fan. I loved his Chappelle days. The story, Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories. Those were some of the funniest skits in his of all time. So it is rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. It was kind of hard to see him die. So, but beyond that, I was confused. My issue was when him and Ghost was fighting, Charlie Murphy. I was I don't want to make a joke because he is sick. Like, well, he was sick and he's like passed away now from the sickness. But he was all of 120 pounds wet in that scene. And we see him throw Ghost off of him. Like, we see there was no way that Charlie Murphy had enough power to make like Ghost fall in that fight scene. Like, there was no way he was going to get the best of Ghost. And even after Ghost was like, maybe they set up. That's why they set up the screen, set up the scene of him boxing and basically wearing himself out with the heavy bag. But it kind of contradicted itself when Biscuit came in and tried like a little stab move, and we see Ghost go through his little Spider-Man reaction and just catch his arms. So it kind of contradicted the scene of him being tired with Williams. But hey, what can you say? With that going on, we see Ghost and Tony come to a partnership. In that instant, Tony like, oh, instead of killing him, I can actually use him to work. Like, I can actually use him now. Like, I can get what I wanted from him at this point. And we see, I'll talk about that portion later. But we see Tony switch the script, and we see what happened between him and Biscuit. Now, going on from there, I didn't think Ghost would get off so early in the season. I knew he would be getting off this case, obviously. Well, not really obviously. They needed Ghost. I think they realized that they needed Ghost out. Like, Ghost needs to be out. And that's sad because, like, with James being locked up or Omari being separated from the rest of the cast, we actually seen the weakness of the other cast. The rest of the cast aren't as strong of actors as Omari is. Omari's screen presence, his delivery and everything is much better than the rest of the cast. And that's no shots towards Rotimi. Like, I don't even mind Rotimi scenes. Both of my issues go with Natari. Joseph is bad. Julio. Even though I do love Tommy, like I really do love Tommy as a character, there's times where Joseph's acting is not up to par to Omari's. And like even 50's like acting is pretty bad. So this show really hangs on Omari. Like, so I'm glad to see he's back out so the quality of acting can go up. Well, at least the quality of scenes. The quality of acting he does bring out better performances from other castmates, but Omari needs to be out because they need Omari to save them in every scene. Like, they really do. Omari needs to be in the majority of scenes again. But going off from that little tangent that I have, let's get back to it. Like, let's get back on task. So I'm glad to see he's out. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I did predict he would get off, but I didn't think it would happen this soon. Now, I want to know. Let's move on to Tommy. So Tommy has issues with Patar all episode, and we've been hearing for 5 episodes now, Chicago, 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 and every episode, anytime we see Patar, Chicago, 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 Chicago. So we see that there's some type of issue going on, and that's going to have to come to a head at some point. And they chose to not really make it this episode. We seen Tommy being summoned, so apparently next episode is going to be coming to a head. And I love to see, I want to see who Chicago really is, because we still haven't seen Lorenz Tate, his character. We know he's going to be playing some type of lawyer / congressman. I don't think he's a lawyer. I think he's going to be more of a congressman. And I don't know if he's going to be I don't know if he's coming in to maybe pick up the case against Ghost, or he's going to be just a random congressman. But I want to know what his role is going to be. He's obviously going to be some type of drug dealer. I don't know if he's going to be coming in for Tommy's replacement, because I'll get back to my predictions later. I'll say that for my predictions later. But we see Tommy at the crib hanging out. We see him and Keisha is not having the best of times. More so Keisha. He's still smashing Keisha. We see she's rolling his blunt. We see he making dick jokes with her. So he is really vibing with her. But it comes to a point where she realizes he's not really as into her as she is into him. Luckily, we're to a point where it doesn't matter no more. If you see Tasha, like, oh, you got to keep her, stringing her along. You got to let her know. You can't like let her feel like she let down or whatever. So what does he do? He string her along. You know, he is ignoring her calls and shit. Though we see he's playing pool and whatnot. He's ignoring her call. I don't know if he actually got the info, but I want to know. Like, I want to know if he got the info about Ghost getting out. Because we see he leave before Ghost gives him a call or anything, or Tasha gives him a call. We see he's just immediately gone, hands his phone off to old boy, and that's really it. But throughout the episode, we see him and Dre vibing again. We see him and Dre getting to it over some shit that Tariq told Tommy, like, oh, I met this girl, I think her name was Destiny, and I kind of had sex, like, I had sex with her. I went to a party with Dre, and obviously that's like the dumbest shit ever. Like, when we see when Tommy questions Dre about it, Dre is like, what? And I'm glad this happened because, like, we see like Tommy questions Dre about it. Dre, it's actually a good actor. Can we see he is legitimately like confused? Like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't take him anywhere. I like the way he pulled it back in though. Like, I took him to a friend's house. I dropped him off at his friend's house. I didn't take him to no party. So I'm not saying he lying, but I'm just saying I didn't take him to no party. I took him to a friend's house. I could have taken him to a party, but I didn't know it was a party. That's a good outlet. I just took him to a friend's house. If his friend to a party, that's a whole other thing. I just took him to a friend's house. And I love the way Tommy was like, next time anything happens with the family, ask me first. Like, ask me. And so that was cool. Now, moving on to Angela. Did I call it or did I call it? I told you Angela was flipping sides. I knew she was going to Angela's flipping sides. Now, going on from there, we see her talking to Paul's about the situation when the episode opens up. And Paul's like, look, think about the family. Think about you. Just because he's innocent, everything he did to you does not, like, even though he might be innocent for this crime, think about everything he did to you and what he might have done. And think about the family. It's more important about the family than you being right about someone being innocent or whatnot. And which is true to a degree, but we all know Angela's temper. Like, we not to her temper, but her personality. She kind of like, she wants perfection. She wants to know who really killed Greg. And we see once she realized the consequences for killing Greg for Jamie were much more severe than she thought. She thought he like just go to jail, death time. But once she started to realize, oh shit, he might get the needle, he might die. Now both my boyfriends are going to be dead. I'm not saying she's still in love with him or anything, but she definitely has some type of feelings for Jamie. We see she was not trying to let him get the needle. I'm not saying she did that because she didn't want him to die or whatever, but she definitely didn't want him to go down for a crime that once she realized wasn't him. Like, wasn't him. She gave him like a little information about how they're trying to give him a RICO case. Respect it. And she see that didn't go too well. And she's like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna fall on this dagger. I gotta fall on this dagger. I love that she fell on this dagger for James. And a lot of people be like, oh, you're such a Jamie, like, Jamie, Angela fan base, but not really. Like, it's just Angela's personality. We've seen this for like the last couple episodes. She was like struggling with this decision upon James. Even though she made this, she consciously made the decision for it to come up, and it was just stupid. Like, even when she like came out with it, we see like Proctor and Sandoval try to go at her like super hard. It was stupid because I seen it like a couple episodes ago. For them to take down Angela, they're gonna have to like stab themselves. They're gonna have to shoot themselves in the foot to take down Angela. And we see like Mock jump up. I'm gonna clip the Mock. We see Mock jump up, button up his suit jacket and everything like he's like some fly guy or something. And the idiot didn't think about the fact that to take down Angela, he had to like shoot himself in the foot. He got up like, oh, you're pointing the blame at us. But what about the stuff you did? You start naming off stuff that she did. But then when you think about it, you allowed her to do this. You allowed her to do this because you figured you will get the conviction. When you see she found the nail, found the fingerprint evidence, and then waited 24 hours to turn it in, that right there shows there's an issue with the like basically the evidence. It's like possession, whatever. We're showing there's some type of issue with going on here. Then you find then Sandoval, like when she's like telling about Sandoval, like, oh, I told him about the tape, he didn't want to show it. And Sandoval like, oh, she's sleeping with the defendant, he allowed her all this stuff. I'm like, but y'all knew about it from the beginning. You guys bring that up now, it's only going to hurt yourselves. And we seen that, and we seen that happen. The judge was like, okay, all of you guys are suspended, the whole crew. I wonder how what's his name? That's Sandoval. I can't even think his name right now. Knox Sandoval, Donovan, Sachs. I wonder how Sachs feel. My boy Sachs is just sitting there, and now because he's on this case, what he said, he like, Angela, don't bring me down because of your nonsense. And what happens? Angela bring down for some nonsense. Now everybody is in trouble. Even though he came walking up so confident. So confident. He had the folder. You're like, we got him. Tasha did. But this idiot, like, I know he feels like so stupid, man. Oh, I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. Boy, I'd be pissed. And Angela, my phone just fell. But Angela just took everybody down. Damn, that's fucked up. Now, moving on from there, we got young Kanan. Kanan. I can't get a grip on Kanan. I can't get his angle. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it's so confusing. Because we see... So I don't understand why Kanan was at the that Ghost's spot. That was reckless. If Tommy would have seen him there would have been an issue. And I think Dre wanted that to happen. It was dumb on on Kanan's behalf. I feel like Kanan's smarter than that. Why would he show up there? It was stupid. But we've seen Kanan been showing up all type of places he's not supposed to be at. He showed up to the club when he's not supposed to be there. He shows up to all these places he's not supposed to be at. Like, I don't understand it, Kanan. Why are you doing this dumb shit? I really don't understand it. I really do not understand why Kanan showed up to this place. And only thing I can think of is Dre wanted him there for this situation. He wanted someone to see Kanan and recognize him. Then he can be like, oh, this is what happened. And luckily, Tommy was out of town. But Ghost is back next week, and he's gonna have to answer to Ghost next week. But beyond that, when Julio seen Kanan there, it was perfect. It was perfect. Now, like, I'm on to Dre. Dre gave Kanan all that money. I don't know how much he actually gave him, but he just told him, like, straight up, leave Tariq alone because he's gonna fuck up and get his all into some shit that we not gonna be able to get out of. And we seen it just didn't work like that. We seen when Tariq showed up to the apartment, Slim, are you here? Boy, hey, what's up? The nigga get kidnapped again. The nigga's an idiot. The nigga got kidnapped twice in one season. The nigga got kidnapped twice in one season. Boy, you gotta be the dumbest motherfucker on earth. This boy got kidnapped twice in one season. Let that sink in. Boy. And we see it. I thought Kanan was going to be upset about that. I did predict that Kanan was going to end up killing Jukebox over this Tariq situation. I'm not saying... And actually, I'm going to stick to that. I think he's actually still going to kill him because we see he was just genuinely like, so you got the boy? Like, he's like, hey, so you got the boy? But once she told him that Ghost was out, he did change his person. Oh, so what you want to do next? But that's not gonna work well. I feel like Kanan is definitely gonna kill Jukebox for this Tariq situation. Tariq might end up dying too, but Kanan definitely gonna kill Jukebox over this Tariq situation. They're gonna get into it somehow, or Kanan gonna keep all the money or something. Something's gonna happen over the money and Tariq combined. It's just not gonna work well. So back to Dre. We see Dre and Tommy is vibing again. We see he's still questioning, but we see like Dre had the idea to set up the whole little nightclub vibe so they can move the drugs and everything and bring the couriers back. And I don't understand why they didn't have the couriers the whole time. Why not have the couriers? Like, that just been extra money. You guys had the system already. It was perfect. You guys was just missing out on a perfect business opportunity right there. But hey, it worked out well. Like, we see it was popping. We see he had it super popping. And Kanan idiot shows up. We see Julio shows up. He sees Kanan, and now Drake gonna have to explain himself with that situation. We see he's having a full-blown conversation about how to get Kanan back into the system, but it didn't make sense. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Obviously, Drake didn't have enough pull to get Kanan in that situation, but he tells her, that's why I need you for it. So now that Ghost is out, I want to see how shit rolls on. So moving on from there, we got young Julio. Julio is acting like Julio. He didn't get into it with Tommy this week. That's good. He found out some news about Dre. He found out that Cristobal was hanging out at the club too much. He get that text like, oh, they're getting more bricks than us. I need those bricks. Like, what is going on? I need my bricks. So he's like, oh, how the hell he found out about that? You know, we see the girl tell Julio about that. Like, you want to know anything? I'm working the party, and maybe she told him when Kanan came in. Makes sense. That's his mole. Makes sense. So going on from there, we got Keisha. Met Keisha with Tasha. Tasha got her little business, her friendship vibing back again with Keisha. See Keisha talking to her about her man, white boy. I like the way Tasha put it together so fast. But and see she's talking about returning stuff for money. But Tasha. Everybody be like, oh, you're such a Tasha basher. Tasha does some dumb shit. Let's be honest. Tasha does some dumb shit. And y'all be like, oh, it's Ghost's fault. You got in a situation that they don't get no money. No. Why the fuck is she taking money from Stern? Like, there's no point in her calling Simon. Ghost is out. They're about to start unfreezing your shit. You better find some type of way. You better start returning those random ass dresses and shit to get you through like a week, maybe 2 weeks. Get you through your shit. Because he tells you, Ghost is on his way back home. You got Tommy over here. You really need money? Go to Tommy. What the fuck? Let's go to Tommy. Return some of the clothes. Why the hell do you need this? And then her and Silver. And then Silver don't get... I should have got anybody has a chance to smash with Tasha. Tasha's one of those chicks with low self-esteem. And you show her any attention, you got a chance. Real talk. That's how I personally feel. If you show Tasha any type of attention, you got a chance of smashing. Like, I had no idea what the hell is going on with Tasha's head, like through Tasha's head. Why are you gonna smash the lawyer? Why are you getting ready to confess some shit to a nigga you don't really know? I don't get it. I don't get Tasha. I genuinely just don't understand where she's coming from in this situation. Why she would do this dumb shit. Why would she put herself in debt with another person? And I hope she didn't sign shit over, like sign no stupid shit over for Ghost. Because I don't feel like she had the power. But I hope she ain't like, I don't know what she gave Stern in return for that loan. But it was something stupid. I guarantee it was something stupid. Going on from there, we got, she's scared to take the stand and whatnot. But she like basically trying to, like, she gets Keisha like off the stand. Now moving on to Proctor, we see Proctor just chilling with his daughter. I love to see Proctor hang out with his daughter. And I love to see like he tells her the truth about his whole situation. He's not really lying to her. Like, look, some stuff happened. I kind of like, I'm not late. I didn't get fired. I'm just, I got suspended from work, and everything's gonna get figured out. And we see he's spending time with her. She's like, is it my fault that you're messing up at work? Like, no, it's not your fault. You're actually the best. Like, I love to see him let her know it's not something you did. It's not your fault that I messed up. It was on me. You had nothing. Like, you had nothing to do with it. And I love how Angela came in. He's like, look, man, I'm trying to spend time with my daughter. Can we do this some other time? And his daughter gave him like, oh, go ahead. I understand. You're about work and stuff. Go ahead and do it. So I love to see that his daughter understand. Like, he keeps it. He's honest enough with his daughter about work that she understands the situation. Like, oh, this is what he does to earn for me, and she's like mature enough. I love to see that. Even though everything that's going on between his daughter and his wife and everything, I love to see that he's talking to her about it, and she's mentally stable enough to understand situations that are going on. So he is a really good father towards the situation. So I do like that. Going on from there. We got John. I told you John is an idiot. John is like, I already talked about John like in other things, but I think like Angela's gonna find out that Sandoval is the rat. We see she told him like, look, everything you do is gonna come to light. Now moving on to Tony. Tony gets our power move of the week. No questions asked. My boy Tony came in mid murder gang. That boy changed his mind so quick and realized, oh, I can use you instead of killing James. I might as well just use him to get what I wanted this whole time, and which is to get in contact with Tommy. Now, his plan is kind of at a bad time because we seen once Tony tells Ghost like, oh, I need to get in contact with Tommy, or I'm gonna tell everybody what happened to this. What did Tommy do? Leave town. So that leaves a little issue for James. So, but I like to see what happened. We see he basically certified that he's Tommy's dad. When Ghost says, oh, you know Tommy's dad or something? You could say that. And Ghost like, I'm like, this is how y'all gonna tell us this is Tommy's dad? Y'all couldn't find no other way to tell us this is Tommy's dad. I would rather have a Tommy, like a Darth Vader scene with Tony and be like, Tommy, I am your father. But that was a bad impression of that scene. But I would rather have something like that. It's crazy that this is how they decided to do it. This is crazy the way they decided to do it. But beyond that, this is all I have for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Our goal for this video was to hit, just let me know what you guys like. Tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me how you feel about this episode. And let us know, as always, stay lost.